periodicity and the periodic properties. So first one is periodicity. So what is periodicity is regular repetition of similar properties. So repetition of similar properties, repetition of similar properties of elements at regular intervals with increasing atomic number, is called periodicity. So actually with increasing atomic number, element properties will be repeated. So that the repetition of properties with regular intervals is known as periodicity. Next, periodic properties. So periodic property. So what is periodic property? Any property which is periodic in nature. Any property which is periodic in nature. Any property which is periodic in nature is called periodic property. Actually, if you take any atomic size, ionization potential, electron affinity, electronegativity, valency, oxidation state, metallic nature, reducing nature, oxidizing nature. So these are in group wise from top to bottom. If we observe, it will decrease or increase. So repetition will be possible. So this type of properties are known as periodic properties. Why these periodic properties or periodicity occurs means it depends upon the electronic configuration, because electronic configuration is changes. So electronic configuration is changes for regular intervals for different elements. So properties also changes. So now we are going to discuss about the periodic properties. First periodic properties is atomic size. First periodic property is atomic size. So actually what is atomic size? So we can call this one as atomic radii. So actually, suppose if you take two atoms, see this is atom A, this is atom B, this is a nucleus of A, this is nucleus of B. Actually, distance between these two, distance between center of the nucleus and this center of the another nucleus is called diameter. Distance between two nucleus. Half of this distance is known as atomic radius. That means actually these are covalent bonding. This is in covalent bonding. That's why this overlapping occurs. So half of this distance means this is radius. This radius is nothing but atomic size. So distance between, actually here valency, consider this valency electron. Distance between valency electron and nucleus is known as atomic size or atomic radius. So actually we cannot calculate atomic size directly. So that's why we are taking a molecule, so which are in covalent bonding. Actually this is one example, students. So this molecule is in a covalent bond example. So here we can calculate the nucleus. internuclear distance. Internuclear distance, that means distance between two nucleus. We can calculate that one, and we can take that half of that distance, half of the internuclear distance, half of internuclear distance. Half of the internuclear distance is known as atomic size or atomic radius, or distance between center of the nucleus, distance between center of nucleus and electron of outermost energy level. Electron of outermost energy level. So distance between center of the nucleus and electron of outermost energy level is known as atomic size. So actually that is main definition, but we cannot calculate atomic size directly. So we can calculate the internuclear distance, and we can take half of that internuclear distance. That is nothing but atomic size or atomic radius. Actually this atomic radius is influenced by type of bond, oxidation state, based on oxidation state, and number of bonds, coordination number. Actually coordination number means we can consider this is number of bonds in inorganic compounds. So based on number of bonds and which oxidation state it has, and the number of bonds between two atoms. Suppose if it is complexes, then we can inorganic compounds. Then we can consider the number of bonds. So one metal is surrounded with number of bonds. That is nothing but coordination number. So these are all influence the atomic size or atomic radius, depending upon on the type of bond, formed. Different types of atomic radii, different type of atomic radii are found. That means if you take different molecules, different types of bonds are present in that. So based on different types of bonds, we can define that different type of radii also. So in that, first one is covalent radii. Second one is metallic or crystal radius. Third one is van der Waals radius. Fourth one is ionic radius. So students, actually definition is same, half of the internuclear distance, but the bonding is different. So we must know that. So internuclear distance between two atoms, this is normally diameter. Half of the diameter is nothing but radius. That radius is nothing but atomic radii. Suppose that molecule is in a covalent bonding, then that radius is nothing but covalent radius. Here, first one. Covalent radii. So students, covalent radii means molecules, two atoms are in a covalent bonding. So that means the both are overlapped. So now see the distance between two nucleus, internuclear distance. Internuclear distance. This is diameter, students. So suppose think it is d. So radius equal to d by 2. So this d is nothing but internuclear distance. Internuclear distance. So half of the internuclear distance is known as covalent radii. And the second one is metallic radius or crystal radius. Here we are taking two molecules are in a two atoms. Two atoms are contact with each other. They are in a bonding. So distance between this one, two nucleus. So internuclear distance. Here also same thing only, students. R equal to d by 2. But compared to covalent radii, metallic radius distance is increased. Observe it, students, from diagram. For example, in a Na crystal, sodium crystal, in sodium crystal, distance between two adjacent sodium atoms is 3.72. So adjacent sodium atoms means there is nothing but internuclear distance. So 3.72 is the internuclear distance. Then how to calculate metallic radius? Metallic radius equal to that internuclear distance 3.72 by 2. So that is nothing but 1.86. So this is in angstrom units. 1.86 angstrom units. Next, van der Waal radius. Actually, compared to other, this van der Waal radius is more distance. Here, two atoms are in a bonding. And here, students, this is another molecule, CD. This is A bond V, this is C bond D. This is AB molecule, this is CD molecule. Actually, here, this is actually van der Waal radius is attraction between two different atoms affect two different molecules. See the students. Actually, between this B and C, there is a weak attraction. That weak attraction is van der Waal attraction. Actually, AB are in a bonding, CD are in a bonding. And there is no bonding between B and C. But there is a weak attraction. Then if we calculate the internuclear distance between B and C, there is nothing but van der Waal radius. Van der Waal radius, VR. So compared to other radius, it is larger. So larger radius compared to other. So now van der Waal radius greater than metallic radius greater than covalent radius. So van der Waal radius is larger distance, and radius means that is nothing but distance. So van der Waal radius is larger than metallic radius, and it is greater than covalent radius. In covalent radius means two atoms are in overlapping. That's why radius is less compared to other. So normally this van der Waal radius is 40% larger than covalent radius. Van der Waal radius is 40% larger than covalent radius. And the last one is ionic radius. So students, ionic radius means between two ions. So consider two ions, A plus, B minus. This is A plus, this is B minus. So internuclear distance between two ions, internuclear distance between two ions, A plus and B minus, is known as diameter, and half of that internuclear distance is nothing but ionic radius. So in each case, half of the internuclear distance is nothing but radius. If these two atoms are in a covalent bonding, that is covalent radii. If two metal atoms taken, means metallic radius or crystal radius. If between two molecules there is weak attraction possible, then internuclear distance, half of the internuclear distance is nothing but van der Waals radius. If you take two ions, the half of the internuclear distance between those two ions is known as ionic radius. Screening effect or shielding effect. So consider this is the nucleus, this is first orbit, this is second orbit, this is third orbit, this is fourth orbit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is fifth orbit, this is sixth orbit. So these are the valency electrons, students. So suppose electrons present in the fourth orbit. So this nucleus attraction is on this fourth orbit electrons and also sixth orbit electrons also. So all electrons will face the attraction of nucleus. But long distance means it will face the less attraction. Close to the nucleus means more attraction. Actually, these fourth orbit electrons act as a wall and holds the nucleus attraction up to this level. Then attraction will be stopped from up to here itself. Then there is no attraction on these electrons. So fourth orbit electrons act as a wall and stop the nucleus attraction up to fourth orbit only. That means it acts as a just like wall. Then this nucleus attraction will be up to fourth orbit only. Then this sixth orbit electrons does not contain any nuclear attraction. So this is nothing but screening or shielding effect. So decreasing of nucleus attraction on the valency electron is known as screening effect or shielding effect. So then these the electrons will be very free, easy to remove because no nuclear attraction on this electron because of screening effect. So this is the effect of screening. When screening effect is more, electrons removal is very easy. When screening effect is less, some attraction is possible on the valency electron. Actually, because of this screening effect, again lanthanide contraction also possible. So normally here reduction in size of ions. So lanthanide contraction. So we should know the lanthanide contraction. Here what is the lanthanide contraction means? Decreasing. Actually here instead of decreasing we should use gradual decrease. Gradual decrease of size of a trivalent ions of a lanthanides. With increasing atomic number. Even though atomic number is increases, size is decreases gradually. Gradually means, so there is a change in first element to second element and also second element to third element. So first element to second element, how much is changed? same change is there from second to third, and third to fourth also same change is possible. So decreasing also same number is possible. So same number of decreases is possible from one element to second element and second element to third element, even though atomic number is increases. So this gradual decrease of atomic size is known as lanthanide contraction. First it is observed in the lanthanides, so it is named as the lanthanide contraction. So what will happen is this due to this lanthanide contraction. Actually, this main lanthanide contraction is due to screening effect, pore screening effect. So due to pore screening effect, actually this is due to dispersed shape of dispersed means is very complicated. Dispersed shape of F orbitals, dispersed shape of F orbitals, and the pore screening effect. Pore screening effect. Pore screening effect of F orbitals. So why this lanthanide contraction arises means due to complex shape of F orbitals. Due to the complex shape of F orbitals, pore screening effect is possible. Then gradually decreases the size. So this this is the lanthanide contraction. So due to lanthanide contraction, due to this lanthanide contraction, it is applicable for D black elements also. So that's why properties are very close to each other. Structure and properties. Structure and properties. Structure and properties of elements are very close. So almost gradually size decreases means its structure and properties of elements are very close. Then it is very difficult. Then it is very difficult. Then it is very difficult to separate from mixture. Suppose if you take any mixture of two elements, both are having same sizes due to lanthanide contraction, then we cannot separate that because both are having similar properties. If sizes are equal, then properties and structure are very close to each other. Then we cannot separate that elements.